Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Schumacher. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm the Jer in Wellness with Jer. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel today. Super stoked to talk about a show I just got done watching, Batman Caped Crusader. It's on Amazon Prime right now. It's supposed to be like an HBO Max. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with DC and HBO. Anyway, it's on Amazon Prime. 10 episodes. It's from Bruce Timm, who is maybe not a household name, but he is the producer and showrunner to my childhood. He was a writer, producer, showrunner, did a lot of the character creation for Batman the Animated Series, for Adventures of Superman, which was around that same time. He did Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. He worked on Secret of Nim for any millennials who want to relive some childhood trauma. Uh, I don't know if Secret of Nim's dramatic, but when I saw that, I was like, that horrific rat movie from my childhood. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't remember it that well. Anyway, yeah, all these great ideas from really like a golden era of animation, Batman, Superman animation. Bruce Timm was involved in most, if not all of it. So this is not a continuation of Batman the Animated Series, but a different take on it. But like it's got that vibe, and I think it's really good. Spoiler, early review in the review video. It's really good. Go watch it. But it's got that vibe. It has the feel of Batman the Animated Series. It's just set in a different time. So this is really like 1940s Gotham. Batman has way fewer gadgets. He's pretty new in his career. He's not wearing like gauntlets. He's just got on these little gloves, and he's kind of new to it. But it's set in the 1940s. It's a little bit focused more on like, not more. There's more like gang warfare and police stuff. The supervillains are less well established. So like it's a younger Batman early in his career, and it's set in the 1940s. So it's different than Batman the Animated Series. Although I feel like the animated series was sort of always like unclear on when it was set. This is very, very much set in the 1940s. It's almost like a set piece. So yeah, it's just got that like moody vibe from the animated series, that gritty Gotham feel to it. I will say one of the big differences is like kind of the supernatural approach it takes to a lot of stuff. There are characters who are ghosts. There's some lesser known comic book characters who show up who have some magical properties about them. Characters who can like absorb energy and stuff like that. So it is kind of that grim, gritty, real feel to a Batman story, but it is a little bit more comfortable, including some of the more fantastic ideas of Batman. Not like Ra's al Ghul is real science based or anything. So I'm not holding the animated series up to some it's all real sort of comparison. Hamish Linklater, who anybody who follows my channel knows, I think highly of. He was the preacher in Midnight Mass. He was in, that early X-Men movie or show before it was an X-Men film. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on it. It was on FX. It's going to bother me. I'll think of it later. I'll make a note of it maybe in the comments. So he's done a bunch of stuff. You would probably recognize him if you saw him. And I was really surprised when I saw in the credits that was who did the voice. And like once I saw it, I couldn't not hear it as him. But he does a fantastic job. One of the things that Kevin Conroy, who was Batman the Animated Series and the Arkham video game series, he was the voice of Batman. He did so well is that like his Batman voice and his Bruce Wayne voice are realistic. Like they're close enough. It's not sort of that Christian Bale growly, where are they taking the drugs? My microphone might edit that out. It's not that like Bruce Wayne sounds one way and Batman sounds a totally unrealistic different way, but like it's different. Apparently Hamish Linklater's mother was like a voice coach. So anyway, I don't know if he got coaching from her, but he's fantastic in it, and I thought did a really good job. Alfred's always a curious character to kind of talk about. Alfred's a little different in this. He's sort of that like prim and proper English butler, but he's like a little pudgy, but like he does some different stuff. He gets involved in some episodes. So like I like an I don't want to say fresh Alfred, but like I like Alfred that can do some different things. It's not quite that like Gotham Alfred where he like is former MI6 or whatever. Um, but he gets involved a little bit. But the show, I think, where the show does really well is it spends more time with the villains, and it spends more time on the police force. So we have Commissioner Gordon, we have Barbara Gordon, we have Detective Montoya, all our important characters, kind of showing how Gotham is corrupt and they're still good people. It's not just Batman fighting these super villains, but like there are regular people, kind of connected to the mundane everyday running of Gotham. We have Harvey Dent running as mayoral candidate before he turns into Two Face, and he's sort of fighting corruption, but he's also corrupt. We have Harvey. Why is everybody named Harvey in the 1940s? We have Bullock and Flass, who are two very corrupt cops, but who are, falsely given credit for something that Batman does, and then they get to be the head of the task force to find Batman. So like, there's just all these moving parts. It's not like a political show. It's definitely not a kid show, gang. As I let my kids watch an episode or two, and they were far more frightened than probably anything else I've let them watch, and they have watched some things that are not necessarily PG. They've seen me play Assassin's Creed. We've watched a bunch of Batman the animated series. So like it is, I think it's TV 14 technically, but it is, I would say maybe not 14, but like an older age kid. There's just like, it's not violent or like it's not gory or explicit. It's just tense. Like it's a very tense show. Again, that like 1940s grim, moody sort of setting is palpable while you're watching it. So I think my boys both reacted to like more of the environment of it than like anything. There's some like shooting and some stuff, but again, sort of that metaphysical approach. Some of the bad guys are like seem to be like real ghosts and a little bit scary, and it's moody. It's a moody show. But again, it's one of those things where I think the show does really well in spending some time with those lesser known characters. If you love Batman and you're just like, I want to see Batman fight Joker, like that doesn't happen. Spoiler. Um, the spoilers for season 2, in which we're gonna get to meet the Joker, but it's contained episodes in that like here's the bad guy, here's why they're being bad, here's what's going on, here's what Batman does. But it's the storyline throughout is Gotham and how corrupt it is, and these side characters who aren't Batman but are fighting the corruption. And I think it does really well in that. I'm sure people are up in arms about it being woke and having Commissioner Gordon and Barbara be black and all this stuff, but like it really doesn't matter unless you're, well, let's just call it like it is. Like unless you're racist. Unless a fictional character being a different race than you grew up with them being really bothersome to you. Again, like comic books do this all the time. We have Hal Jordan and um, John Stewart are two different Green Lanterns. We have, there are all these different iterations of Superman. I grew up through that comic book time when Superman is three different entities of pure energy and he isn't human at all. Like there was red, blue, and white Superman or whatever was going on in the comics in the early 2000s with the Justice League. Like, who cares? Who cares? Why is that an issue? Why are you so upset about that? Like, fictional characters can be whatever race we want to make them. They're fictional. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the side characters. I think that's good. It doesn't come across as like forcing an agenda. People who are maybe like use the word woke as if it's some sort of derogatory term probably feel that way, but like it's not. It feels like a Batman show. It feels like Commissioner Gordon. He's the same character. It works in the sense of like he's fighting corruption, but also he's a minority, and so he's in a tight spot with like trying to keep the mayor happy and trying to keep his police force happy. But it isn't, I don't know if people are upset about that. I've seen a couple videos on YouTube, like Batman went woke, and like people being, at least on the thumbnails. I'm not clicking on those videos. I don't need my algorithm to get messed up like that. But at least in the thumbnails, they seem upset about it. But it's good. Some different like genders, like Cobblepot, Oswalda is obviously based on the name Oswalda, a female, and she has her idiot sons. But like the Penguin's a girl, and like who cares? they're fictional characters. We can do what we want with them as the creators can do what they want with them. So I think it works. All of it works. Like I really enjoyed it. It's probably I think there are some iterations of Batman, like the Batman um, show. I think was good. Lego Batman's a lot of fun. Like there have been really good iterations of Batman since the animated series. Talking about just like animation here and cartoon-esque Batmans. But this is the one that went closest to the vibe of Batman the animated series and like hit the nostalgia for me pretty strongly. Um, Batman the Animated Series, better intro, 100%. Like, that intro for Batman the Animated Series pretty much stands untouched, but, like, this just it's not trying to redo the animated series, it's a different thing, and so it feels different, it has its own thing, but, like, definitely there I don't know if it's the Bruce Timm, production and showrunning and writing or what, but, like, it's the thing that captures the vibe of the animated series the best. So if you enjoyed that, and some fun side characters, some not side characters, but like the villains aren't all the big bads. We meet Harley Quinn, but we don't meet the Joker. He is hinted at the end of season one. I think it's signed on for season two already. It's also short. It's 10 episodes. They're a little longer than maybe like the 22-minute runtime of the standard 1990s cartoon, but like they're a half an hour or less. So I went through it pretty quick. I let my boys watch like 3 episodes. I have a 6 and a 3 year old, and they were scared. It's the first time I've like let them watch something that wasn't for their age that has like kind of gone poorly. They didn't have nightmares or anything, but like we had to talk about it and process it and do some breathing and stuff. So I let them watch 3 episodes and like they are scared. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. It seemed really good and well done and like an homage to kind of that feel of the animated series without being beholden to reproducing the animated series. Batman's still cool. Again, Hamish Linklater's awesome in it, but like young Batman, not too gadgety yet. The car he drives, the Batmobile, is super loud. I don't know if it's just the settings I have on my TV or it comes across in Prime. Everybody's Amazon Prime, but like the Batmobile's loud. Um, that Batman dynamic with Alfred is there. Alfred's kind of a caretaker, but also like holds Batman accountable for some stuff. Harvey Dent's decline is fascinating. Again, so there's the corruption storyline that kind of goes throughout the first season, and Harvey Dent just kind of goes throughout the first season, and then he is a bit of a two-part episode. But I would say 9 and 10, the season finale, kind of stand on their own, but obviously a bit of a two-parter with Harvey being Two-Face. Um, but yeah, it's fun. Go watch it. And like I said, there's 10 episodes, they're half an hour each. So you could do it in 5 hours, right? Quick math. You could do it in 5 hours. You split it over a couple days. I think I watched it in a weekend. So I enjoyed it enough to like keep hitting it. I will just add that caveat that I'm a millennial and I super like my iteration of Batman that I like the most is Batman the animated series. Like Batman Mask of the Phantasm I had on VHS and I watched it constantly. If you ask me who's the best Batman, I will say Kevin Conroy. Who's the best Joker? Mark Hamill. Like that Batman from the 90s is my Batman. That's who I grew up with at that time when I was a kid, when I thought Batman was the coolest. And yeah, so like nostalgia definitely hits for this, but it's well rated. It's not like a deep thinker, like it's an adult show, but it's also not like a cartoon, like let your 5 year old watch it unattended. I watched it with my 3 year old and 6 year old, but we processed, we talked about it. All the classic Batman beats. So I've done a review of the Matt Reeves Batman, and I talked about Emperor Joker. So like I've done a couple Batman reviews by this point. So I'm not going to retread old territory, but it's one of those things where like, yep, it's drama, loses his mom and dad. It hits the normal Batman beats. There's trauma, uh, but it's good. And Batman is sort of working. Yeah, it's good. I'm not going to retread the Batman things. The normal things about psychology for Batman and trauma victim, and what's the difference between somebody who handles their trauma well and somebody who dresses up like a bat to fight crime. But again, you like Batman. It's not the critique of Batman being a wealthy millionaire who fights mentally unwell people. Like Batman, again, I think I talk about this in some other videos where like Spider-Man is kind of my go-to on a superhero who actually wants to help people instead of just beating people up. Batman in this one cares about them too. He follows up with Barbara Gordon. He follows up with not Detective Montoya. He follows up with Barbara, who works on the legal side of things. He takes care of Harvey Dent even when he becomes Two-Face. So Batman like cares in this one, and it's not just like cool action set pieces. Like he's trying to make Gotham a better place, and he cares about the people who are doing it, not through vigilante justice. And so it's good. I don't think it has like a ton to say. It's probably one of my shorter review videos. So not a ton of psychology beyond the normal Batman stuff, but like it is good. Hits that nostalgia vibe. I will say I saw it after I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, which definitely hit a 90s nostalgia vibe. And then I simultaneously was watching X-Men 97 while I watched Batman. But I cruised through Batman. So I haven't finished X-Men 97 yet, but I did finish Batman in that time. So that I'm just on that nostalgia vibe lately. Seeing Wolverine in the yellow suit in Deadpool and Wolverine really helps my nostalgia start to hit. But yeah, Batman Cape Crusader. It's really good. Go watch it. If you didn't know Bruce Timm did all those cool things, check out his Wikipedia page and all the things that he's done and are really good if you haven't watched those either. Batman Cape Crusader gets 2 big thumbs up. Go watch it. Strong recommend. All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by, spending some time with me. If there's anything you would like to hear me talk about, pop culture stuff, superhero stuff, I do song reviews. I'm always talking about the mental health and psychology concepts in these pop culture things. Drop down in the comments if there's something you want to hear me do. Like, subscribe. I have a Patreon that's tied to my podcast. I have a podcast, Your Therapist Needs Therapy, where I talk to other mental health professionals about how they take care of their mental health. Merch, we got stuff. Support the channel, like, subscribe. Those are the free ways to support. Share it with somebody. We appreciate that stuff. All that stuff helps people find me and hopefully putting out good mental health work. All right, that's enough self-promotion. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. Peace.